In this video, we will learn about Roam database. We will create a table where we will store usernames. We will create an abstract class for Roam database, and we will create our data class for users. And here we will define the primary key and the values that we require, such as usernames, age, or anything. And we will use annotation entity so that it means it is the table. We will use that data class for table. Entity make it easy to create your database. And we will create the primary key to be auto generated. It will start with 1 and so on. And the ID should be long, not int. Long is better. And that we will use annotation database to tell the database what table are we using. So we will here write the class names of those data class name of those entities, and we will also define the version number of the database. If we want to create a new table or add a column to the database, we have to increase the version number. So the next step is to create an interface class, and here we will use the annotation DAO, and that is the annotation for Room database. In this DAO, we will define the functions or the queries related to the table users. So we can here add user, fetch user, and update or remove any user. Now we are going to define our database functions, such as if we want to insert a user, we will use the annotation insert and create a function insert user and add parameter to it for insertion of a user. If you want to write your own query, you can use the query annotation. Here you can get all the user from the database or perform searching based on age, names, and any other complex searching algorithm. You can add sorting to it, you can add pagination to it, you can limit the number of values you want to retrieve from the database. In the abstract app database, we will define our DAO and we will initialize the database in it. We will use Room Database Builder to initialize our database, and we will add a name to it that is unique to our database. I do mistakes sometimes intentionally or unintentionally so that you may remember it. The best place to initialize your database is the application class. However, in the start we will initialize it in the activity. All database operations must be performed in a background thread. We cannot do this in main thread, application will crash. So in Kotlin we have coroutine scope, in Java you can use thread as well or asyntax. So here we will define our coroutine with IO as parameters, and we will use the app database dot instance dot user dot get all user. We will fetch all user from the database. And now if we want to execute some function in the main thread, we need to update the UI in the main thread. So we will use with context dispatcher the main. We'll use the main dispatcher inside the coroutine and access our data adapter for the recycle view and update the list. This is the adapter class for the recycle view, and it is very simple. There is nothing on it. Now we are going to create a function to insert the names in the database. So we will also use the coroutine in the background thread to insert the database. We have created the fetch method. Now we will create the insert method. We'll pass a name to it. We will use 0 as the ID because the ID is automatically created by database. You don't need to do anything to it. Now we will run the app. But it is crashing. Now we will debug the error. It seems we haven't initialized the database. Now that we have initialized the database, let's run the app again. Still we experience a problem. The app is crashing. And this is a very strange error. After searching on Stack Overflow for a bit, I find this error because in the past I was using Java, so this error was not there. So in Kotlin, you also has to do something extra. So in Kotlin, you need to add this Kotlin capped in the plugin, and you also use the capped dependency, and you will use the same version number of the room database. Since we have added this, now run the app. Now the app is running. Let's assign our data to the views. And after making some changes to the adapter, we run the app and the data is visible to the user. Now the app is almost complete, but we need to do something else. We need to observe the data live. So if a new entry is added to the database should automatically update. And database will provide a callback to us and we will update the view. In the past we have initialized the database in the application class, but I managed to skip it. So if you want to create an application class, not only you have to extend it from application, but you also have to define it in the manifest file in the application tag as a name. By doing this, our database will be initialized every time the app is open or app started. Now let's start observing the data. So we'll go to our get all user functions and we will return live data, the list of live data. No, live data of user list. Now the function will provide us with the live data, and we will use the live data to access the list. Whenever an entry is made to the database, the database will provide us the complete list. Since we have now the object of live data, we can start observing it, and we will use the context of the activity so that the live data will be observed within the context of the activity. We don't want to observe it forever. Now we will write some code that will be repeated after every 1 second. This code will insert a name to the database every 1 second, and we will see that our live database will get updated. We will use handler and runnable for that and add a delay of 1 second. In Kotlin, the syntax is a bit different. We will run this on a function. We'll provide this code inside a run function. First, we will override it. Now we will run the app. Let's see. It is crashing because there is a problem. Whenever you are using observer, the list here the list is null. The list dot value is null, and it is a strange behavior. Since we are using live data, we will not use this. Under normal, if we are not using live data, we'll use this, but since we are using live data, we will add an observer to it. Now we see that every 1 second a new item is added to the database, and the database gives a callback from the observer, live data observer, and it will update the database. Now it is working. This is the first step, the basic of the Room database. In the future, upcoming video, I will add deleting, updating, and more options to it. The first video is supposed to be simple and minimal, so that user can understand it better, the audience can understand it better. And thank you for watching our video. If you like it, subscribe it. Thank you everyone. Assalamu alaikum.